I'm Amber Philpott in Johnson County. They're known as Sunday Best, and they call Eastern Kentucky home. Tonight, how they're helping flood victims.
A disturbing discovery on a central Kentucky farm. What investigators say a farmer found in a sinkhole.
We'll give you a sneak peek at what UK is calling the new Commonwealth Stadium.
Tracking, alerting, protecting. This is WKYT News at 6.
Good evening to you. Tonight it is about helping through music. I'm Amber Philpott right outside of Johnson Central High School, where in just about an hour, Sunday Best will take to the stage for a free concert to help storm victims here in Johnson County. We're going to have a lot more, but first we send it back to Lexington to Sam and Jennifer.
Amber, thank you. A mystery tonight on a Franklin County farm. Investigators say that someone found a human skull inside a sinkhole.
Now police are trying to figure out how long it had been there. They say the skull was found last night at a farm on Jones Lane, not far from Frankfort. Victor Puente is tracking the investigation in our top story at 6.
That sinkhole has been filled in. The sheriff tells me they were able to remove all of the remains that they uncovered. Now begins the task of trying to identify who they belong to. The man who lives on this farm told me a worker mowing around that sinkhole found the skull yesterday. That worker took pictures. They called police.
I didn't really know how to react to that. Not something you expect to hear.
Liebman says that sinkhole opened near the end of winter. Franklin County Sheriff Pat Melton says the skull was 10 feet, 9 inches down that hole, and they had to lower a man head first to retrieve it.
Slow and steady, very methodically. We're making progress.
When they began digging around that skull, they found other fractured remains. Melton says they had to call in some specialized equipment to help remove those bones.
Hopefully from there we'll be able to move forward and determine if this is something that's been, really old, hundreds of years old, or if this is something, we'll be able to determine and ID who it is.
All of those remains were taken to the coroner's office, where this investigation will continue.
So it's just a peaceful, quiet place to live. Well, it was peaceful.
Sheriff Melton said despite the age of that skull, they treated the area as though it were a homicide scene, making sure they didn't disturb any evidence as they worked to identify those remains. In Franklin County, Victor Puente, WKYT.
The people who own the farm say they've been there for about 7 years. New at 6, a federal judge rules the Fayette County Detention Center used excessive force against an inmate who died in 2012. The case involves Jeffrey McKinney from Frankfort. He was jailed for DUI and died after having a seizure while restrained. In the ruling, the federal judge says jail staff showed deliberate indifference to McKinney's medical condition by delaying getting medical help.
New tonight, Frankfort police have arrested a woman they say left her dog in a hot car, causing its death. Police have charged 27-year-old Stephanie Tyler with second-degree animal cruelty. Frankfort police say that animal control was first called to a home on Landings Drive yesterday for a report of a dog tied to a bumper of a car. Police say that animal control told Tyler she couldn't do that. But a few hours later, police were called to the home after people told them the same dog was locked in a car. Police say when they arrived, the dog was unresponsive.
We were able to determine that the dog had been left in the vehicle for about an hour. We were able to determine the temperature of the vehicle was about 145 degrees.
Police say the dog was later pronounced dead at a veterinary clinic. They say Tyler told them she put the dog in the car because it was acting aggressively towards her children.
Tonight, Marines and soldiers around Kentucky are receiving more support from the community. It comes after an attack on military centers in Chattanooga, Tennessee last week that killed 4 Marines and a sailor. Marines and soldiers at recruiting centers are not armed. As Sean Moody tells us new at 6, a police chief and a dispatcher are among those now guarding a recruiting center in Boyle County.
Houstonville Police Chief Fred McCoy is no stranger to protecting his community.
That's a 12-gauge shotgun. I've got a 9mm Glock on my hip.
But he's not in his police uniform, and this isn't Houstonville. The Marine veteran is standing guard outside the Armed Forces Career Center in Danville. Once Marines and recruits go through that door, they're not allowed to have guns. Just a couple of feet away on the sidewalk, it's a different story.
Got an AR-15, 9mm M&P on my hip.
911 dispatcher James Hughes is giving McCoy a little backup. They say they want to make sure nothing like what happened in Chattanooga happens here.
And they see somebody here with weapons, guess what? They're going to go somewhere else because they're cowards.
Inside, Marine Sergeant Kenneth Porter says he's thankful for that firepower.
And having somebody come out watching you don't know anything about them, they don't know you. For them doing that, it makes you feel good. It shows that people actually care even if they don't know you.
People passing by felt the same.
Appreciate it, man.
God bless you.
Thank y'all for serving, okay?
Thank you.
God bless you.
This no weapons rule is only at federal facilities like this recruiting center. McCoy wants to see Washington change the law at places like this office.
We can't ask these guys to represent us and defend us and not give them the proper equipment to do that.
McCoy's using his vacation and sick time to do this. He's willing to use all of his 26 days if necessary, and he's encouraging others to do the same.
If you go by and you see one without representation, take a chair, take a gun, and have a seat.
In Danville, Sean Moody, WKYT.
National Guard soldiers in Kentucky are allowed to carry licensed concealed weapons. Governor Beshear has ordered flags at all state office buildings be lowered to half staff from tomorrow until Saturday in honor of the Chattanooga shooting victims.
In less than an hour, a concert to help Johnson County flood victims will kick off. It features country music duo Sunday Best and singer Tyler Childers. Earlier today, our Amber Philpott talked to Sunday Best. She joins us live now again from Johnson Central with more. Amber?
Good evening to you, Sam. You know, Sunday Best, they are preparing for a big night here in Painesville. Since 3:30, folks have been streaming into this parking lot right outside of Johnson Central High School to get their key spot, and there are already folks right up front to hear Sunday Best. You know, for a couple of guys who sing about the Mountain Parkway and their roots, seeing all of the devastation in their home area of eastern Kentucky really compelled them to want to give back. Tonight, this stage will be rocking for a purpose. When flooding hit this county, so many stepped up to help, and tonight it's the country duo Sunday Best to have their turn.
It's going to be a really special night, I think, for everybody involved.
Nick Jamerson and Chris Bentley grew up in Floyd County, but all of eastern Kentucky is home to them. They call their fans the Kinfolk Nation. Tonight, it's about giving back to those folks.
The term has never been more true than it is tonight. It just shows that, you know, it says a lot about this community and eastern Kentucky and Kentucky as a whole. That when something happens to one of us, that we all kind of pull together.
And pulling together and healing is what Sunday Best hopes to bring to the stage tonight. They want those that have made their dreams come true to just enjoy and put their worries aside for just one evening.
We just hope the music and the 2.5 hours that the concert will be going on, it just kind of gives people a break from dealing with the devastation and the stress, and just kind of uplift the community.
This really started coming together last Wednesday, and Nick and Chris both told me today that they're very thankful to Johnson Central for opening up the back parking lot here and for everyone who has helped make this possible. Now, it is free to get in, but monetary donations are encouraged to help out. And there is a way that you can still help if you like. Even if you won't be here at tonight's concert, you can still help flood victims. Just call 606-793-4003 to make a donation, and it will help flood victims here in Johnson County. It is an absolutely beautiful summer night for a concert. We hope it stays that way. We want to go back now to Lexington and our chief meteorologist, Chris Bailey. This is what people really wanted to see here, Chris, some nice weather.
Yeah, that nice weather is going to roll on through the rest of the evening, Amber, so concert goers down there are in excellent shape as it stands right now. Temperatures in the 70s, low humidity, and some sun out there for the next couple of hours. Right now, most areas are into the low 80s across central and eastern Kentucky, and what could very well be normally the hottest part of the entire year. Not so much this summer. It's been a crazy summer with a lot of rain, and now we're still tracking a little spotty shower or two into parts of southern Kentucky. This stuff not as pronounced as what we were showing you an hour or two ago, though we have a front that is stalled out across the volunteer state of Tennessee. Area of low pressure developing here on top of the Arkansas-Missouri line. Notice the little increase here in showers and storms in the southern parts of Missouri. All of that aimed toward the east. Now, that doesn't arrive until we go into the day tomorrow, and not everyone gets in on rain tomorrow. Short-term forecast, let's soak up this gorgeous summer evening that we have going on. Nice conditions from 80 to 70 from 7 through 11 o'clock, when southern Kentucky will have to be on guard for the possibility of a shower or two. Many of us, at least with a threat for a shower or thunderstorm around for the day tomorrow. That'll lead us into a typical summertime weekend here in the Bluegrass State before storms begin to kick back in. 7-day forecast will come your way in just a matter of minutes. But Amber, folks look to be in tip-top shape for the concert out there this evening.
That is certainly good news. Chris, thank you. Now, anyone that knows me knows I am a total Sunday Best junkie. So today, I have my very own Sunday Best Johnson County Flood Relief T-shirt signed, sealed, and delivered to me. Nick and Chris are great friends, and I'm so proud of what they're doing here. And, you know, none of us can take away what happened here last week with so much devastation. But for one night, folks can come out, have a good time, listen to some good music, and raise some great money for some folks who really need it. That is the story here in Paintsville. Amber Philpott, WKYT.
Amber, thank you. Great hearts there and a great effort by them and the Childers fellow, you know, to get out on stage and try to get these people out of what they've been in.
And people who want to watch the concert, we have a link on our website, WKYT.com, so just go to the website and watch along.
There you go. Okay, exciting news back here in Lexington. UK football fans will notice some major changes at Commonwealth Stadium when the new season kicks off.
Today, we got an inside look at the renovations. Rob Bromley joins us with more. Rob?
It has been the home of the Wildcats since 1973, and for the last several months, the biggest renovation the stadium has ever seen has been in progress. This afternoon, UK gave us a tour of what's being called the new Commonwealth Stadium. The work is ongoing as the Cats season is quickly approaching. The south side of the stadium is dramatically different. It's now massive with loge-level VIP seating, club seating, new suites, and a massive new press boxes on top.
There's a lot of work to do, and the commitment's there to get it done, get it ready. This is obviously a project. We've never done anything quite like this, and luckily we got everybody's buy-in to make it work.
Athletics Director Mitch Barnhart has said he's hoping the renovations will change the personality of Commonwealth Stadium, be more fan-friendly, be more intimate, and be a building block on the Cats' building success on the field. Right now, there's a tremendous amount of work to do. This will be the first major upgrade of the stadium since 1999. Weather and getting it all done has played a factor.
You know, the snow hurt just from a standpoint of, and it was the thing that I was always fearful. I wasn't worried about the moisture from the snow or the little bit of snow. It was that people couldn't get to work, and there was a couple of days where we had to shut the site down, and that's just the way it went. All of the constant rain has been, you know, that deck that we walked on today, that should have been, we should have had the pavers, and that should have been done. That should have been done a month ago. Well, we didn't get 2 days in a row of dry. They just needed it dry 2 days.
Total cost of this project, $120 million. The upcoming season will be the 43rd for the Wildcats here at Commonwealth Stadium, and it will be a whole new look. Well, yes, it will be a whole new look. The Cats will have their second game of the season on the road at South Carolina, so that will provide a little more time for the finishing touches as they're working on it hard over at Commonwealth Stadium.
Thank you, Rob. The season opener is Saturday, September 5th against Louisiana Lafayette.
They are well-known brands, and now the Breeders' Cup and Maker's Mark teaming up for a good cause. We'll explain coming up.